Well, Mystics, we made it to the weekend. Hi there, I'm Ananda, the Galactic Mystic, and this is your Navigational Astrology forecast for the weekend, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I have to look at my calendar because I don't know what day it is. October 22nd, 23rd, and 24th. Our beacon cards this weekend. Friday is the Wheel of Fortune, Saturday is Justice, and Sunday is the Hanged Man. So we will be going through this experience of understanding that everything is in divine order. Our lives continue moving. Fate and destiny are playing their role in everything we see around us, including our own lives. And then the experience of trying to bring about some kind of balance within all of that. The Wheel of Fortune is, when you're high, there's a low coming, and when you're low, there's a high coming. So sometimes that can feel like a loss of equilibrium. And so Saturday, the guidance is to try and find some of that equilibrium. And then Sunday is surrender, pause, looking at things a little differently from that place of surrender. And on Friday, we have an evening void moon. So it is a good time to watch a movie with the family, do something creative. And I don't know, I keep with the moon conjunct Uranus that we had on Thursday, maybe carry that leaning towards comedy as much as we can. Sometimes the human psyche needs comedy to deal with heavy things. And I think we're all dealing with a lot of heavy right now. So comedy is good medicine. I'm going to say again, I said this yesterday, if you have a favorite comedy, let me know what it is, because I like to have a list to choose from when I need a comedy and I can't figure out what I should watch. On Friday, we still are in this wonderful Taurus moon. It will be moving into Gemini, and then very soon after, conjuncting the North Node in Gemini. Now, I want to just mention here that the North Node has moved to 1 degree of Gemini, and this is the nodal return of the Iraq War, which I find pretty interesting, or at least the nodal return of American involvement in the Iraq War. And at the same time, the sun is moving into Scorpio. We'll be officially in Scorpio season on Saturday. Perfect for spooky season. Love spooky season. We are going to be carving our pumpkins this weekend, and I'm really excited about that because we have not done that in the last 2 years, and that just doesn't even make any sense to me. Pumpkin carving is a tradition. So with the Gemini moon, we're not going to feel too intensely emotional or overly sentimental, but there is still an awareness of other people's emotions. This is a good time to settle things through rational discussion. If you can avoid any kind of heavy-duty, demanding emotional involvements, you probably have a better time. We will need, however, mental stimulation. So again, comedy, why not? Mercury is finally moving. That was loud. So Mercury is finally moving. If you have been feeling this Mercury station very intensely, which a lot of us have, There should be some movement in that way where, okay, maybe now our words are flowing, our thoughts are flowing, and maybe things will begin to flow because we have all of these retrograde planets have now gone direct. We still have some more to go this month, so it's full steam ahead. On Saturday, the moon will be trining Saturn, and this will give us some stability if we do need to have any of those rational conversations. And there's also a type of poise and balance that we can achieve if we find ourselves in a stressful or having to have one of those potent emotional conversations. Even though the Gemini moon may not like that, that trine with Saturn will give us the ability to move through it with grace and poise, and remembering how to handle those things responsibly will help us have a little bit more objectivity, especially if the person we are talking to is highly emotional, because the Gemini moon may want to withdraw from that, but the trine with Saturn may give us more of a solid stance where we can say, you know what, I'm feeling super uncomfortable in this, but I care about you. I can see that this is important. So let's do this. Let's talk about it. On Sunday, the moon will be still in Gemini, but it will be opposing Venus. And right before it opposes Venus exactly, it will be opposing the great attractor. So I've been talking about this all week because at the full moon, Venus was conjunct the great attractor, and this has a lot to do with gravitational pull of situations and slipping into gravitational streams that we can't seem to escape. And so the responsibility we need when the great attractor is triggered like this, particularly with Venus and the moon. Okay, so we don't want to be doing things that we don't want to be playing with situations where we don't actually want the consequences or the fruition of them. And with the moon opposing Venus and sort of skirting around this energy, we could come to a bit of a choice point where we might realize that we've been emotionally leaning into something that maybe we don't want to keep doing that. Maybe we want to make a different choice, or maybe the way we're coming about, or maybe we're seeing something that we haven't seen before. And because this is the Hanged Man day, this is actually really nice because we can take a step back, pause, look at things differently, and maybe we'll see what this is about. But this is a transitory energy. It will be moving through pretty quickly. Another thing that Venus is doing is she's coming into pretty close square with Neptune. So this is going to have us, we're either going to be really idealizing our relationships, maybe projecting our desires onto someone or something in a way that prevents us from seeing what's really happening. It could go that way, although Neptune is still retrograde. And when Neptune is retrograde, it's easier for us to see through the fog. So we may have some fog going on, but hopefully we'll be able to see that. And sometimes when there are squares like this with Neptune, when we are faced with our disillusionment, there can be a real disappointment because we didn't realize we were projecting our fantasies on this person or this situation. And they're actually just flesh and blood and normal and flawed, just like everybody else. really, it's a blessing to come to that point. But some of us are more prone to those romantic illusions and fantasies. And so this could be a harsh wake-up call to anyone who is caught up in that type of romantic projection. At the same time, the moon will also be squaring Neptune. So this makes that double fold. This is a multiplication of this energy with Neptune and the fog and the fantasy and the illusion. Well, my friends, we are in Scorpio season, and I just want to talk a little bit about the specialness of the first degrees of Scorpio. In particular, 0 degrees of Scorpio, where the sun will be on Saturday, Friday late, Saturday early. This degree in particular represents a loss of equilibrium right before a level up. Scorpio energy is very much about power. And so all of this that we've been going through with the lunar cycles and, these squares with Pluto, the end game of these initiations is more personal power. So I really love that this is happening now, because if you feel a little, like, gosh, I just don't feel like I'm standing on my 2 feet, that's okay. And it's actually understandable and normal, because there is a new level available of personal power. And that's what we're going to be working on this next lunar cycle, this Scorpio season. And I really love that for all of us. Speaking of that, y'all, we got to talk about this Mars-Pluto square. Mars-Pluto square, which can be a pretty gnarly energy. This will be exact, actually on Thursday, which I probably didn't talk about because I was recording outside without the chart, but we will be feeling this throughout the weekend. Okay, so Mars square Pluto. Mars as our passion, our fuel, our drive, not just our sexual drive, but just the energy of our body. This is the gas in our tank, Mars is. He is our drives of all kind, not just sexual or anger. This is our spirit. This is our energy source. Truly, in a lot of ways, is representative of our life force in our bodies. And so a square is a challenge or a motivation, and it is usually an inner struggle, an inner challenge. And so Pluto is here saying, okay, it's time to do some revealing of how we use our energy. Are we aware of how powerful our will is? And are we using our energy to force things to happen? This can really bring up anything that we are fanatical about or relentless about. And we can feel that when these two are in a square. We can become obsessed with these things too. We can feel a compulsion where no matter what, I'm going to do this no matter what. No matter what it costs, no matter what I have to sacrifice for it, no matter what I have to do for it, my will persevere. But what are we using as our energy source? That's the question. Are we using anger as our energy source? Are we using our sexuality as our energy source? Or are we using our inner warrior, the part of us that knows its power and knows that we do have these reserves that we can tap into? People around us may not be very clear with our with their motivations, and we may actually not be particularly clear about our motivations either. Now, luckily, this is not a very long transit when Mars is, he keeps trucking, but this can bring up power struggles and confrontations because it will bring up all of our desire to gain control over things, to gather everything up so that we can control all the things. Okay. And even if you're not doing that, other people around you may be doing that. So this is a good thing to keep in mind that is in the air right now. So we want to continue to not put ourselves in situations where we are being victimized, and we want to make sure that we are not victimizing others, because that is what power struggles are. And Mars square Pluto is a lot about power struggles. So let's be assertive, but not fanatical. Let's not bully others, and let's not allow others to bully us. We want to feel safe and powerful, and we want others to feel safe and powerful at the same time as well. If you hold a position of authority, you will want to really check yourself while this is in play, because people who have authority already can be really swept up into this energy when it comes about. So eyes open, even if you are not a person who has a lot of authority over others in your life, just observe. Let's watch the news. Maybe not watch the news, maybe just check out the headlines and see what world leaders are doing around this time. See if we can spot this in the matrix around us. All right. I hope you have a great weekend. I love doing these dailies for you guys. I love feeling connected. I love building this little community. So thank you so much for continuing to show up in your life and in this world. Thank you for liking and subscribing, and I will see you on Monday. We'll also see you on Sunday for the Sunday video. All right.